Here's a video of my 1999 Chevy S-10. I bought this vehicle 1 year ago from a guy in Veazey, Maine, and it was in the paper for $4,000, and it was a base truck. It's got no options except for four-wheel drive and an automatic transmission. Of course, standard with a four-wheel drive is the 4.3 V6. It came with a cap, and it had, stock steel wheels. So the first thing I did, the tires were shot. So I ended up going to Tire Rack, and I bought these tires and 16-inch wheels. These are not legal in the state of Maine because with cars with ABS you have to have the original size tire, so I used my dad's tires. He has a 2000 S10. I put them on there for state inspection. And last year what I did is underneath the bed here, it was very corroded. So I went in and scraped all the rust off and covered everything in Pour 15, including areas of the bed, any sort of metals like that. And cleaned up the rims as best I could. So this was really rusty. The fuel tank was all holy. It would leak gas. So I went back here and cleaned up the rear. And then just probably 2 or 3 weeks ago I did the same for the front end. I got inside here. I have a lot of rust on this truck. It was stripped off the fenders. I actually pulled this fender right off the car, but you can see the frame is quite clean, covered in Pour 15, which is a chemical that will hopefully remove rust. This fender was actually pretty rusted on the inside, and here's a rookie mistake. This was all rusty. I've covered it with Pour 15. I will top coat it, but geez, I had to run. I didn't see it. I got to somehow get that off the truck. And it had a black front bumper, so I took a color matching can and painted it body color because it too was quite rusted on the inside, and it was chipped on the outside. But it's a pretty base truck. Now let me show you the interior. It is a base interior, so manual door locks, manual windows, vinyl flooring. It had a base AM/FM radio. On eBay I bought a CD unit off I think it was a 2001 Blazer. So I upgraded the CD player, and it all works. And then I think I sold my radio for 20, so I think total cost was 60 bucks for that thing. That was totally very much worth it. And the other upgrade I did was the speakers. One of them didn't work. The others were horrible paper speakers that GM normally puts in their cars. So I replaced all 4 speakers with I think just some sort of Sony unit I got at Walmart, but a significant upgrade for the stock unit. So that worked out pretty well, but it's just a basic four-wheel drive. There's no AC. It does have a CD player now, standard gauge package. This car right now has 49,000 miles on it. I bought it with 46, and I've had it a year now, so that's about 3,000 miles. Typical headlights, and it does have delay wipers, but I think that might have been standard. Does not have tilt wheel, but it's a great four-wheel drive, especially for what I was looking for. It is a short bed. It did have a cap. I'm not a big fan of caps. My dad's truck had a tonneau cover. His is also a short bed. So I ended up trading him. So he gave me his tonneau cover, and I gave him my cap. So I got this tonneau cover, and I don't know if I have any kayak videos, but I haul my kayak around with this truck. And so essentially what I do is I drop the tailgate, roll the tonneau cover up to the front there, and I just throw my kayak in the back of this thing, and it hangs out several feet. But I built a little wood frame to help support it, put a big red flag on it. I've got some other projects I'll be doing this year. Number one is, if you noticed, the cab corner on this side is toast. So I've already got the replacement parts, and for the first time ever we're going to try epoxying a part in. Traditionally we've always brazed and welded in parts. We're going to try to epoxy it, so we'll remove the bad material, cut our patch appropriately, and hopefully glue it in there, and then paint it body color. And the other thing is, I guess I have a leak inside because underneath this vinyl, this floor right here has got quite a bit of surface rust on it. So I've got to pull the interior out, clean up that rust, see if I can find the leak, which is probably off the windshield, and fix that up so it doesn't rust anymore. Because the drivetrain itself is great. It's low mileage, but I just got to keep this body from rusting out. So that's a quick image of my 1999 Chevy S-10. If you got any questions, comments, or I ought to show you underneath the hood here. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment. Here's the engine. It's a 4.3. This is where an air conditioning compressor would normally live, but with no AC, it really opens up the underneath hood. I do run a 9-inch K&N cone filter. That actually came off my 93 Pontiac Grand Prix, which I ran that filter on for a while, and it's a modification we did to my dad's truck as well. Everything else on this truck is pretty much stock, and since this is primarily my winter beater, I drive it during the worst weather in the wintertime and most of the wintertime, just to keep the load off of my wagon there, because that's a very low mileage, great condition car. I'll only drive that on nice days, Every other day I generally drive this one.